keep the place neat and tidy.
Yeah, well done.
Obviously, it's been a busy month for the committee this month. Again, a lot of procedures and policies that we've been working on progressively. And I specifically would like to thank Rob and Sandra and Rebecca for working so well as a team to work through these amended policies and procedure adjustments and setting things up, which is just the amount of work they've put in is staggering. And Rob, thank you so much for your fabulous participation in that regard. It's just been outstanding. We've got a couple of our committee away at the moment, so namely our treasurer. So Tony Bryant's been covering the fort for the treasurer and assistant treasurer. So thanks to Tony for doing that. Rebecca's doing minutes tonight. So thanks, Rebecca, for helping out with that. And amazing how much work we get through in the committee, but so always seems to be a lot to be discussed. So we do our best. So thanks to everybody on the committee that's been working hard on that, making sure that it happens. And also thanks to the subcommittees for working together with us and making things run so smoothly. Okay, the 50th anniversary of the club's due in March 23. You need to book if you're coming, so don't miss out. The caravan park is at the point where they really need to know whether they're going to hold any spots open. So they really need your feedback immediately. Otherwise, you're not likely to get in there. Check the website All Weekend Wrap for further details. And March is a busy time for the caravan park. And so, and there may be other large groups of travellers wanting to book. So it's essential that people get in there and book if they're going to be going. Also, you can pay for your dinner now as well online. All right. So I don't think I've got much else to report on other than those items. Rebecca, you can give me a nudge later if I've forgotten anything. I've got a couple of badges here to give out tonight for recognitions and milestones. So is Brenda Daniels here tonight? Brenda, if you want to come up and join the 10-year brigade. Congratulations. There you go. Thank you. Welcome. And one more. Alan Dowson. 10 years. Well done, Alan. Well done, well done. Never ceases to amaze me how many people get 10, 20 years, and somebody the other day told me they were 40 years, and it's like, well, it's staggering. Anyway, so congratulations to those people, and we'll look forward to seeing the other 20-year ones and some others next month. Okay, so we're going to go to a video next. It's the Little Desert Spectacular from April 22. The trip leaders were Simon and Sherry, sorry. And the video was edited by Viv Gardner. And if you've never been there, you got to go. It's one of the absolutely best areas I've ever been on a trip in my life. And mind you, I say that every time I seem to go on another trip. So, but it is an absolutely beautiful and spectacular place, but it can get bloody cold at night. We move on to subcommittee report. Do I now just go flick over to you, Chris, for the driver training report?
Good evening, everyone, and thanks, Anne. Listen, last month we were hoping to have 14 participants. I'm talking about the month of May, up to the practical weekend. Unfortunately, the dreaded COVID struck and it took 2 of the participants out, so we ended up with 12 for the month. Anyway, we all had a good time. It was all good, and there's a lot of new skills, and everyone's amazed by the what their actual vehicles can do. You know, it's great to get people up there that don't know their vehicles, have never put it in 4-wheel drive. It's really a challenging experience, particularly for the mums or the partners that come up, but they turn out. I think by the when we get to the Sunday, you can't get them out of the vehicles. They just they don't want to hand over the reins. They are that hesitant at the start, but it's great to see that everyone had a great time on that weekend anyway. Listen, it's a little bit unfortunate. We've got reduced numbers attending the June practical for the weekend coming up 1st of July and the 3rd of July. So it means that I've got a review. I've got plenty of instructors, but I haven't got a lot of participants. I've got 7 participants is all that's able to come up. We've followed people up. We've got about 15 to 16 people that are still out. There's still effects of COVID in the community, as we're aware. There's still effects that people can't get their vehicles up to scratch of what's required with parts and booking in to get it serviced. And there's also other things that pop up in people's lives as well. But anyway, so for this month, we're going up there for 7 people, but we'll have a limited number of instructors up there for the weekend. I don't want to drag the whole 8 instructors. It's silly to drag that many people up, particularly with the price of fuel and that to get up to Yark, regardless. Look, while I'm at it too, we've also had a delay. I got a phone call from 4-wheel drive Victoria yesterday. There's been a delay in the printing of the certificates. So this means that the participants that turned up in the month of April, which was towards the end of April into May, those certificates, we're hoping to receive them plus the May lot and get them posted out by the end of this week if we can. So it's a bit unfortunate, there's a bit of late notice, but I only found out last night, but I thought I should let people know if they're looking for their certificates from the April DA and the May DA, they're still on their way. The last point you'll notice on the club website, you may notice that we've opened the club website to the bookings for the advanced DA theory and practical session for July 2022. The theory is going to be delivered via Zoom, and the practical session naturally will be held up at Yark on the 29th to the 31st of July. Look, there's limited places. We've limited it to a total of 8 participants, and I think at the moment, I think I've got 5 that have booked in. I haven't looked tonight since I didn't get home from work till late, but I think there's about 5 that have booked in. So if you're interested in doing the advanced course and you've been in the club for the 2-year requirement, or you're a trip leader, by all means, feel free, put your hand up, apply for the course. It's a great course. Matt's going to run it for me, and there'll be other instructors up there as well when we go up to Yark for the weekend. But the Zoom, the practical part will, the theory will be run via Zoom. I don't know if we need to know the date. I'll tell you the date. So it's on the 12th of July. If you're interested, put your name on the hat. You go into a wait list, and it's basically the first and best dress. But you need to be a member of the club for at least 2 years for a start, and completed your DA. But if we could get some of those other members, if they could rattle around, they can give us a ring or apply on the site, back on the website, to come in as soon as we can, because we don't want to get to the end of the year and we've got people that have been sitting out for some time. It's pretty difficult, and like I said before, there's expenses involved for everyone all around, even the participants, to get there, but particularly for the instructors. As we know, we're all volunteers. So we do the best we can, and we have a good time when we get there, regardless. I think that's it, Ian. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Liz, you're next. And hopefully we won't need to move the microphone, but I may need to move the camera. How are we going?
Yeah, you can only see the top of my head at the moment. That's better.
There you go.
This corners can't see a thing. There's a big thing over your head.
You can see me up on there.
You're right.
I'll keep going. Evening all. Welcome any new members here and out there in Zoom land. Okay, we had a very small fine art printing workshop recently, but it was great, and George Matar did a fantastic course for us, and we all came away having learnt something very individual to us. So thank you to George for that. It was really good. Sadly, the HEMA mapping had to be cancelled due to COVID problems. He's a hard man to catch, so I'm going to have trouble getting him back, but I will work very hard to try and get him back, probably not this year, hopefully early next year, so bear with me on that one. Next, the CV repairs course. Simon here, hand up there, will be running that, and he will be presumably getting in touch with them all just beforehand as a reminder. Yes, yes. Sorry? Okay, that's fine. He will do that for you. It is fully booked at the moment. Put names on waiting list just in case he gets a lot of cancellations. Then after the CV course, we have in August the 4-wheel drive maintenance course with Bill Black. Again, full. Go on, wait on the waiting list. September, we have the tyre repair course. Again, full. They're very popular. You need to get onto them pretty quick. Now, Waste Station. Geelong and Alison organised that earlier in the year for their club. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask for expressions of interest on this one, because there are costs involved, and depending on how many people are interested to do it, whether we get him up at Yark or we organise him somewhere else. Are your towing weights compliant for your insurance and your safety? Know your weights for caravans, 4-wheel drives, boats and trailers? Do you know about TARE, ATM, GVM, GCM, TBM? Are you confused? I'm bloody well sure I am. So you will learn all about that if we get him up there. What you have to do is you have to come with your vehicle and your caravans fully set up and loaded as for a trip. And they will work out all the calculations as to whether you're compliant or not. So what I'll do is I'll put an expressions of interest in the magazine and on the website. And if you are interested, put your name down on it as you would for a normal course. And if we can get enough numbers together and it's suitable to use YARC to do this, we'll organise something probably early next year. So for the moment, that's about all from me. Thank you very much.
Okay, trip convener, Viv Gardner, is she joining us? Oh, yeah. We got a more ugly version of her tonight. Oh, it's you. Oh, sorry.
I've been given about 3 minutes notice that Viv unfortunately has had to drop off the call, unfortunately. She did give me a heads up of what was going on. There's about 3-4 club trips on the website at the moment. They're all full. So we're actually looking for some more trips because it's winter time. It's not the most conducive time to run trips. The thing that we did do is Viv's team ran a trip leader course back at the end of May where they had 11 people go through. And one of those, of course, was Brad Knight. And he actually ran the third contingent of the Little Desert on the Queen's birthday weekend just gone. So that was pretty quick. He came to the course and then suddenly ran his first trip. So that was fantastic. Hopefully we'll see some trips from those new trip leaders soon. But Viv's out there actively on the trip leaders page, trying to encourage the other trip leaders to try and organise some trips because that's what members want to see. So that's about it from Viv. Good, thank you.
It was so great to be part of that trip leader training, having run some trips many years ago, and wanting to look forward to running some more in my retirement from committee. I was really pleased to be part of it, and I should say that Heidi and Laurie did a fabulous job of presentation, and really impressed me by the content. And for anybody who's thinking about running a trip, obviously you have to do your trip leaders course, but don't see it as a negative. It's a really positive experience, and I was really enlightened by the content of it. So it was really good. And Viv said the certificates have been, I know I've signed them all, and I think that they're going to be posted out to everybody, or they may have already just been done. So we're going to move on to the TLCC West Australia gathering.
Good evening. Numbers have come down a bit. We had 54 at one stage. We're now down to 33. So there are vacancies now if you want to go to WA. Our quota is 40. So I'm looking to try and top that up if we can, which would be good. There was an email that came out today. This is the first correspondence we've had from WA for a few months. That's gone out to all those who have signed on. That's pretty comprehensive this time. It's actually telling us a little bit what's going on and how the trips are going to be run and what's expected of you. Now, what is expected of you is we're looking for someone from our contingent going from Victoria, bearing in mind that we are the largest contingent going, that we need to put on some sort of entertainment for the last night. It's not my go. So as some of you are going, you'll need to put your hand up and come up with a scheme. So I'm giving you plenty of warning. We perhaps will try and have a bit of a get together before we go away, so we can have a bit of a chat about who's going where and how people are getting there. That may have to be a Zoom meeting. Otherwise, if any other questions, I've finished. I'm out of here.
Thanks, John. Thank you, John. Okay, we're going to move on next to Geelong. Alison.
Good evening, everybody. Lovely to be up here this evening. It's been a while. I think it was December, the Christmas meeting when we were up here last. Geelong had a great meeting a couple of weeks ago. We had quite a few there, which was really good, and some new members. We've actually now got 4 people called John in Geelong now, which is a bit surprising. Last weekend, we met at Battery World and had a couple of hours there going through all sorts of info about batteries, which was quite interesting. Roger and his daughter Vivian just talk and sleep and eat batteries. So if you ever need any help, they're really helpful. A couple of members had problems with batteries in their van shorting out and things like that. And we all sort of sat and mulled over what it could possibly be and hopefully came to some resolutions for them. And then we went across the car park to the Ponds for dinner. So it's a local hotel, which was quite nice. Our next social is going to be Saturday, the 14th of August, given that we've got Christmas in July and July. And that will be at Clarabow, which is a French restaurant at the Curlewis Golf Club, very reasonably priced. Also very nice with linen napkins and all sorts of things. So meals are between $25 and $35. So don't hesitate to come on down. It'll be a Saturday evening. And our next meeting is Tuesday, 5th of July. So short and sweet from us tonight. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Alison, and good people, those people, Battery World, very wise, always able to give plenty of advice. And sometimes they'll give you a discount too. Yeah, so good on you. All right, so we'll Q&A, Rob.
I've just got Shane Hornby, who's really keen to go on the advanced DA course.
Shane, oh, okay, he wants to, all right, so there you go. We've got there's a spot for him. Anything else?
Not sure, we have to check with Chris.
No, I'm asking you about QA.
Oh, that's it.
That's it, sorry. No, he's got a book in and yeah. All right, so we'll just move on. We've got Yark Management next. Brian Stewart, over to you. And then straight after that, we're going to have a video of the Maintenance Construction Weekend that was edited by Michael Burke.
Good evening, everyone. Been having some great weather, haven't we? Last month, Yark, we had quite a few people up there. We had 20 people up there, and 5 of those were new members. So that was really great, and everyone enjoyed themselves, and we got quite a bit of stuff done. Including planting the trees and putting guards around a lot of the wattles and gums and a few other native plants, which I've got no idea what they are. Alison's sort of got a handle on that out in the area where we took all the Bergen out from. So we've got quite a lot of stuff happening up there at the moment with that. And there's still a lot of other trees and bushes that are just sitting out near the MPB at the moment that need to be planted around a few areas. So our Green Finger team will be looking into that this coming weekend. Last Tuesday night, we had our Yark Management meeting here. It was on a Tuesday night this month because the Monday was a public holiday. We had 13 turn up, a couple of those were on Zoom. And we got through quite a bit of discussion on where we're at and what we're doing and what we're needing to do. Ken and Gary have been up to Yark this past week to help us put the tractor back together again with the local mechanic, and they got that done. Michael's been up there as well to look at some camera issues and some power issues. So they're not great issues. It's just sort of checking on the logs and things that we've got up there now. We just need to sort of know how they're working and whether they're doing what we want them to do. The camera issues were members arriving at Yark down at the ups and downs gate. And there were a couple of other vehicles there with them. We don't know whether they were members or whether they weren't, because there were more people and vehicles than what signed in. So we need you to sign in so that we know who's there and what's going on. So keep an eye on that. And a couple of the other people who were up there sort of called them out to find out a little bit more about it. And good on those guys that were there to do that. Now, Alison has been putting in an application for a grant for some sail shades up at Yark, and she's missed out this time round. But they say keep trying, and you might get it on your second or third or fourth attempt. So we'll keep hanging in there, Alison. Thanks for that. this coming weekend, we need to get some firewood in. There's quite a lot out lying around that's been cut, and we need to bring it in, stuck it in the shed so that it dries. And there was a complaint or something on Facebook at one stage. One of the guys that was up there said there wasn't much wood down at the birch hut. Well, he could have gone out and sort of scraped some up. There's plenty out and about around in that area. So we'll follow up with that one this weekend. And I've already got 10, 12 people booked in for the weekend. So anybody else who wants to come up and have a good weekend. It's nice and warm up there because we've got the fire in the hut, and we've also got the little fireplace in the MPB now, and that pumps out quite a bit of heat. So we can have nice warm times up there. So come along and enjoy. Okay, thank you.
Always a lot of work done and fabulous. You've got 5 new members up there, which is always really good. Lots of work getting done. I asked Laurie to give us some details on numbers tonight. So we've got roughly 50 people here tonight. We've got 38 people on Zoom and 12 on Facebook. So about 104 all up, which is pretty good. Okay. All right, so we're going to go, we've got new social people taking over now, Helen Foley and Grace Zazam, and one or both have to come down and say something to you. You're both coming down. Good on you. There you go. That's the spirit. Over to you guys.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Helen, if you don't know me, and this is Grace. Everyone knows Grace. We're actually... That's all right. Oh, can you... We're actually going to take on the social activities for the next year, hopefully, and we're excited and eager to hopefully to give you a lot of activities, seeing it's been a bit quiet in the last 2 years. And we'd be happy to take on any suggestions from anyone who has anything that they'd like to do. Just get in touch with us. We'd love to hear from you. Our first function is in July, and we're doing Christmas in July. And this will take place in the venue in Scoresby. We'll be doing a 3-course luncheon. It's actually at 12 o'clock or 12:30. Also, there'll be free drinks on arrival, and James is going to do our entertainment for the afternoon. We'll also have giveaway and prizes, and this is a family event, and we'd really like all young families to come as well. They're very welcome. If anyone is interested, could you please go to the website and book the spot? And we really would like you to do it as soon as possible because we need to get the numbers and know how many people to cater for. And also parking. Parking at the venue is free, so there's no problem with parking. And if anyone has any dietary requirements, just let us know before and we can actually do something with it. If you'd let us know, we can actually cater for that. And we really look forward to having our first event and we'd like a lot of people to come, as many as possible. And like to see you all there. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations to the two of you taking on the role. Thank you. We look forward to being involved in many, many events in the future. So book in now if you want to go, or you can go to the Christmas in July function. All right, so special events is normally Sandra's Tanner, but she's away, so I'm going to do that. So tonight we've got, I just want to remind everybody about the 50th anniversary club event, which I mentioned earlier in my president's report. Under special events, however, just a reminder that we're going to be looking for somebody to take over special events. Yeah, so if you're interested in possibly taking over or being involved in the subcommittee, etc., please let the special events coordinator know or contact them. Just have a bit of a chat so in which you register your interest. The National 4x4 show is coming up at between the 19th and the 21st of August. So if you can help out, please contact the special events coordinator, not the secretary. Email their email address and phone number in the front of the magazine. So if you've got some time spare, it's always great because often you get free admission, and which means that you can, you know, in your break you can go shopping and maybe spend a bit of money. If you don't want to spend money, maybe you can look at lots of stuff. But anyway, so please register your interest soon, please. We'll move on to four-wheel drive. Vic, Eric's here tonight. So Eric, you're going to give us a bit of a chat about what's going on.
Thank you, Ian. Hello, everyone. You all happy? See a lot of smiles out there. Four-wheel drive Victoria. Okay, to kick off, we received, as you all know, I think you all know that four-wheel drive Victoria has been given a property at Talangi, which is an old quarry for training and the like, which will be opened up to all the clubs. I know it won't terribly interest us so much because we do our own training and the like, but there's other training that happens there, and it'll be opened up to the clubs for those clubs that have their own trainers and so forth to use at no cost to them. The government's given us a $100,000 grant with which to build facilities there. We're planning on looking at something like a couple of 40-foot containers, which we're going to turn into a building, which will be a training room that you can sit in when it's not raining and do just theory and all that sort of stuff. So that's pretty good news. The other issue that people have been talking to me about is that places like Lerderderg, Wombat and the Strathbogie Ranges is now under the spotlight with the land managers, that's DWELP and Parks Victoria and the like. What I can say is that I'm on the committee now with Parks and Land and DWELP. There's the three of us, Four-Wheel Drive Victoria and the other two who are the advisors to the government on four-wheel driving. So anything that happens with tracks and the like, in any shape or form, we get a fair bit to say and get approval from us before they can close anything down. So what's been happening is any tracks that are gazetted on a map will not get closed. With this new initiative, nothing is going to affect us. What will happen is where there are a lot of social tracks or what the government call illegal tracks, they'll be closing those down. And in a lot of cases, there's environmental issues and the like. I won't go into any of that, but the main thing is our tracks that we like to go on and do our trips and so forth are not going to be affected. Now, Gary Cooper asked me today about Strathbogie Ranges, how will that affect Yark? And I can guarantee absolutely nothing will affect Yark as far as that initiative is concerned, because it's not a public place. And it's not a park. It's not open to the public. It's a private property. It's just like any other farm or any other property in the district. We are looking at the moment. We had a president's meeting a couple of months ago. We're having another one on August the 6th, where at the moment, Four-Wheel Drive Victoria's got $1.2 million in the bank. Now, that money belongs to the clubs, not Four-Wheel Drive Victoria. It comes out of all those volunteer hours that everybody's put in, clearing tracks, clearing out rubbish out of the bush, doing all those volunteer things that we substitute resource hours for cleaning up and for parks and DWELP. And so we're putting together a business case, which will go out to all the clubs to buy a property, which will be probably a factory, which will already have an office on, which Four-Wheel Drive Victoria can have its own office there. And the factory itself will be set up something like the Jaguar and Austin Healey Club and the Vintage Car Club have got a similar situation, where clubs who don't have venues to go to, or even us, where we don't have to pay a rent to go to, can come and use this facility, and there'll be a kitchen and capability for food and the like as well. But that's further down the track. But the main thing is to get the business case across the clubs and get the clubs to put in their 2 penn'orth worth, and we'll come up with a consolidated plan going forward. Now, El Rock Club have already offered up $600,000 towards this facility. They got a bequeath recently of some serious amount of money, and they don't have a property like Yark, so therefore they would like to, and they meet here as well in this same room. So their proposal is to be part of the purchase. Four-Wheel Drive Victoria will put up $500,000. And we'll probably borrow the other, or other clubs are being invited to donate in the pool. And I guess the plan about managing the facility will be a management team that's based on each of the shareholders, and how that's structured. I can't talk about it at the moment because we really haven't discussed that at great length. But the main initiative is to get our money invested, so it just doesn't sit there and twitter away. I've been going around a lot of the clubs speaking lately about each and every one of the initiatives that are going forward, and receiving quite some really good feedback. And so another issue we have is there's the Victorian Great Outdoors program, which we're a part of. The government looks like putting in $110 million into this program for bush huts and so forth out there in the high country, putting in disabled toilet facilities and so forth, and making it a bit more, what's the word I'm trying to find, inviting for those who are not just four-wheel drivers, but those who go up with four-wheel drivers and can't get about so well. They're also talking about rebuilding the station house at Wonangata. And each of the groups that are in the high country groups, there's the bushwalkers, there's the huts people, there's the deer hunters, there's horse riding people, trail people of all sorts of descriptions, will all have an opportunity to volunteer to look after the building. The plan is they want people in there 365 days a year to look after it, so some idiots don't go up there and burn it down or vandalise it. A bit like old Andado Station, where you can go there for a period of time and look after the place, but it'll be open. There's about, I can't remember, there's probably a dozen organisations that are part of that high country stuff. You're in the bush huts.
We're in the Victorian high country huts.
Yeah, the same thing. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Them, and that's what I meant, the Victorian high country huts people and the bushwalkers and all the rest of it all be part of this program going forward. Sorry? Yeah, all that. Yeah. They're all being spoken to at the moment and offering up their opinions. The other thing is the hub and spoke program, where you can go and camp at a central place and then go off to do day trips or whatever from a central place, the parks are intending to put more money into that. Is there any other questions? No, you're all happy? Thank you. That'll do me.
All right, thanks, Eric. It's always good to have you here to give us some update on four-wheel drive, Vic, and there's always lots going on over there too. Our webmaster, Laurie, maybe you can sneak in a bit of conversation about what you've done over here.
Okay, I missed the message from Viv where she said her audio had stopped working at home. That's why she had to actually drop off the call. She said Baz wants to thank everyone for their well wishes and get well card. And also the get well card that he received from the club on behalf of the committee and the members. So that's from Viv and Baz. I want to give a big thanks to what I call the Zoom team and the meeting team. It's been a very hectic month, hasn't it, boys? Rob and Mike and myself have been busy. David McCullough, who's part of the team, David's away sunning himself up on Cape York. So he's having a great month off, but he can pick up the pieces next month when he's back. But yeah, Rob and Mike and I discussed about the issue of audio at this meeting, and we felt that something had to be done. We got approval to spend a few dollars to go out and get some better quality microphones. And I think you'll find that these microphones pick up much better than the ones we were using last month and the previous months. And I don't think anyone's put a bet on a horse race tonight, have they? No, that's good. So we know horse racing, that's good. And there's been no music. One of the pluses is that we weren't allowed to have the iPad, which controls all the stuff in the past. Management has now said, yes, we can have it. And so therefore, Mike's running that tonight. And it does help to us to change our volume levels when things get louder or quieter or go muted. Rob spent many hours going out and purchasing equipment, and then, as luck would have it, we were here last week doing some testing, and these two guys came in with black tops on. We said, who are you? He said, we're from the audio-visual team for doing work for Mulgrave Country Club. We thought, can we pick your brains? He said, go for it. So that was extremely helpful. Gave us a few pointers on what we should get and what we shouldn't get to actually make this audio work properly. So that was extremely helpful. And yeah, and then we purchased the information, the bits and pieces. And just to give you some insight, we had a meeting here last Tuesday. Ian came along as well. And we had a couple of hours talking to the management. And then Mike, Rob and I came in here and we spent another 3 or 4 hours.
It started at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, well, that's another one. But you know, last Tuesday we were here till about 2 o'clock before we went home. That's how long we were playing around. So today we decided to come along at 10 o'clock. We were allowed to come in early, and we thought we'd be here for 2 hours getting it done. Rob and Mike went home at 5 o'clock. And I didn't go home at all. I stayed here. I looked after the equipment. So yeah, it was a long day, 7 hours sitting there, just going back and forward. They certainly made a few dollars from us buying lunches and drinks in there, but we enjoyed ourselves so that we can get what we wanted to get across to you guys. So hopefully you're happy with what we have actually done so that you can hear it better. And hopefully we get positive feedback from the Facebook and the Zoom people as well, that it is working at home well. So over the website, I do restate that if you do have any issues with things on the website, please give me a call. You don't have to stand up on a meeting and shout and scream and talk about stuff that really is probably only relevant to me doing the website. And I appreciate one particular person, Brian Stewart, did exactly as I asked. Brian had an issue with trying to get some information on the magazines. Send me an email. And I said, thanks, Brian. Fixed it in, half an hour. And although it didn't really help you, did it, Brian? Because you'd already done your legwork and what you want to do. But that's what it's about. If you've got an issue, talk to me. We'll get it fixed. It's something that I pride myself in, trying to get things done quickly. On the last note, Heidi and I are actually heading off on the 4th of July for 3 months. doing Outback Oz. So we won't be here for the AGM or the next two meetings. So these guys are going to have to do all that side of it, plus David. So hopefully they get through it. We are looking for more volunteers to assist. If someone does have some knowledge of what we're doing and can help, more feet on the ground is certainly helpful. So please speak to me, Rob, or Mike, or David, and we're gladly to get you involved. Just thought I mention one thing. We did look at product, and I think did I discuss it at the SatTrone thing? We actually looked at the new product called Starlink. We thought we might try it when we go away because it's actually internet in the bush and it's broadband in the Simpson Desert or whatever. So some people don't want that, but to me, when I'm doing stuff all the time, doing websites, doing Facebooks, doing YouTubes and all that, it's extremely helpful. The downside is that it doesn't go far enough north at the moment. It only goes up as far as Coober Pedy in South Australia, Geraldton in Western Australia. It does go a bit high for some reason in Queensland. I do not know why it goes up to the Sunshine Coast. So it's a lot of line across the Sunshine Coast, down at an angle, under the Simpson Desert, and then across to Geraldton. Everything south is covered, everything north is not. They say probably the first quarter next year, they'll have satellites to cover the whole country. I think from people traveling, it is an interesting concept. Yeah, it is expensive, but you can turn it on and turn it off. It's not as though you have to take out a 12-month thing. You just buy a month, and then when you come back, you can turn it off. So we'll be looking at it next year, and hopefully when our next year's trip happens, it's something that we can rely on. Has anyone got any questions of the webmaster? John? So hang on. We need a roving mic.
Turn it off.
So I can't hear you, John. I put to say.
Just make sure it's switched on.
Can you hear me now, Lauren?
Don't need to be that close to the new microphones.
Okay. I'd like to compliment you guys on getting the sound sorted out. It's been fantastic this time.
Good.
The only comment I will make, and this is, I don't know whether we can get this lined up with the speakers here. There's about a second and a half delay on that screen there, and it's pretty disconcerting. So I don't know whether that's possible, but that's just a wish.
The issue there is that the way we're doing this meeting is that the video is going through Zoom. Am I right? Yes, going through Zoom, and then you're seeing the Zoom picture, not the instantaneous picture. Something we've got to look at as to whether it's worth. It's something that's a work in progress. I totally agree with you. I was watching Ian's lips move, and I thought that's a bit behind. Yeah, so that is an issue. You don't have a problem with the videos because the audio and video is slow both, so you don't see it. But it's when we're live. Yes, I'm probably a little bit slower with my lips up there. So. But take your point, John. Thanks for the feedback. Gary wants to talk. Yes, Gary. Hang on, Gary. Gary, your microphone. I'm not allowed to listen to my finger.
I reckon a round of applause in order to the Zoom team for getting this all fixed up and the many hours they've spent their own time fixing this up for us. Thank you very much, guys.
So we'll move on to our next on. And sorry, it would be remiss of me to say that the amount of time and effort these guys put into this, and it's not just this meeting. This has been, week after week after week, month after month after month, trying to come up with a better system for all of us. To some extent, doing it face to face is, microphone is pretty simple, but when you start incorporating electronics, Facebook, Zoom, and all of those sorts of things, it really gets really complex. And the way our team has worked to put all this together is just phenomenal and greatly appreciated, especially from my point of view and the committee as well. So well done, guys.
Yeah, comment here from
a
member. It's from Michael Johansson. Sorry,
Michael Johansson.
Yeah, Michael. Just my croaky voice. Sorry, everyone.
Yep.
It's just good feedback on that subject. He's saying, we're watching from our bush block in Clunes and now feel part of the meeting. So that's good. It's a really, really great comment. And yeah.
So obviously it's always a positive. We've got to remember we've got a lot of members and we're in far-reaching places. And, you know, right now we've got people away on trips, travelling in Queensland and so on and so forth, who are able to join in remotely. So it's great they can be part of the meeting. So, yeah, really good to get that kind of feedback. All right, so we're going to move on to Cruzicana next. Now, Forge, I think, is online, isn't he? So, Forge, you're going to join us now, and then we're going to have a little bit of a video from 2012 video highlights from the 2012 Cruzicana.
Absolutely. Let's go for it.
Okay. Now we can see your nose and everything
How about
above.
this? There you go.
That's it. We can see you now. Over to you.
All right. Are we playing the video, or what do you want to do first?
What would you like to do?
I'm flexible. I can talk. While I'm talking, I'll
Yeah,
talk.
you talk,
Yeah.
then we'll do the video.
So we met together again. The Cruzicana committee met again this month. We've got a lot of work to do. We've still got a call for volunteers. If you're having troubles getting through onto the website, please send an email to myself. I will definitely add you to the register. I'm starting to call people now. I was supposed to call someone yesterday, but anyway, I'll do that in the next day or so. We do need to grow the team. There is a lot of work to do. The tracks, we changed one of the tracks completely and haven't put it back together. So we're going to need help putting that track back together. There's a whole lot of cleanup around the different areas. I know we want to put do some work with another particular track just to finalize that. There's a retaining wall that I think we need to do, or just sort of make it easier for people to sit where we've got the balance beam set up now. We think that that's going to be a really great event for us, and it's going to be close. It's going to be a good event. So lots to do. We're well on the way. We've been speaking to clubs. Clubs are also interested in connecting with us. You know, we will be connecting with them soon. We've also contacted our sponsors. We're also trying to contact past competitors. So we're wanting to do that as well. When we're getting close to finalising some of these things, we will then go back in a more formal way and announce that the competition is open. Some of the clubs have reached out to me to come and present. I'm trying to juggle that with work at the moment, so it's getting a little bit difficult for me, but I intend to do that in the next couple of months, just to reach out to those clubs and sort of go and present there as well. So that is something that we're trying to do. We do need people to volunteer. We've made some decisions around some key roles, and we're looking to have as many people be a part of the subcommittee, because there is a heap of work that needs to be done. And you know, in past years, it's always gone to the same few people. And there's a whole lot of new members, and they'll be querying about what is this Cruzicana thing. Perfect way to be involved in it. It's the biggest club event. We have almost 100 club members coming and participating and helping in the event, as well as competitors. So it's you know, just as much as we're hosting external guests to our property, it's about coming together as a club as well. So it's a really important event for the club, and you know, get involved. That's what I would say to you. So reach out, send me an email, and we'll start doing that. Start getting you involved as soon as we can. So if there's a video to go, let's cross to that now.
Thanks, Forge. All right, so hopefully you get plenty of people rattling your email box in the next few days, maybe weeks, and we'll get a few more nominations, a few more people involved. The next meeting will be held on Tuesday, 19th of July. As I mentioned, it will be our annual general meeting as well. And commencing at this stage at 7 p.m. unless we advise otherwise. And as we leave the meeting tonight, if you'd just like to wave goodbye to the camera. Good night, all. Well, cheer, be happy.